I think it's important that we pay it forward. Notice that these plants are very small and yielding a lot of fruit.
Yeah.
Well, because we water directly at the roots, so they get all the water that they need, and we have water-soluble nutrients, so every time it waters, it gets fed too.
So that one plant has like 6 on it?
Probably. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
7, and those aren't small either. Those are 7
yellow bell.
Big, nice.
Does it help to have? Does it correlate to the number of strings? Like I noticed you got 3 there, but you have what 6 on this one. Is that in the Mittleiter book on how many
it
strings? Because I'm looking for a pattern.
So bell peppers, they'll grow up in a stem and then they'll split with 2 branches, and then those 2 branches will split. Then you got 4. Then you got 8. Then you have
like
6.
This one that's out like that.
Then you have 16. Then you've got, you know. So I don't want that many branches. I want to be able to maintain it, so I'm pruning it like I prune my fruit trees. And anything that grows in the center, I'm cutting out, and I'm keeping it down to just 6 here, so I can manage it easier.
So we used to juice a lot before we lost all of our stuff, and we want to get back into it. And I noticed that you're taking off a lot of leaves and juicing them.
Yes.
Is there anything off these plants that you cannot juice?
Well,
I mean, except maybe the stalks, you know, the big stalks.
Well, you don't juice leaves from nightshade plants, which is tomatoes.
Okay. So there is some things you can't, because that's how naive I am when it comes to that.
Right.
I've always just pulled the fruits off and ate those, but after watching your videos, you're pulling some of these big cabbage leaves off and stuff and juicing those, so I don't want to waste anything I can be using, because if nothing else, one thing we learned juicing was you could throw apple on top of anything and make it taste good.
Right.
So even if it was kale and broccoli and whatever, you throw a couple apples in there and it was terrific. So I'm looking forward to using anything I can out of the garden, but I'll have to pay attention obviously, because there are some things you don't want to choose.
On page 237 in the Mittleiter Gardening Course book, it tells you what plants you can eat and use on.
Oh, okay.
So here are some peppers. I always plant at least 3 of each item of the same variety, because you may have one that has a problem. See this one here? It's got a problem. These others came from the same packet and they don't have a problem. So judging this plant, I'm thinking that there's a problem with the roots, because I've been giving it everything that it needs and everything, all the deficiencies that it's showing. But I'm thinking there's something wrong with the roots. It's not able to uptake the nutrients. So if that doesn't come back quickly, although the new leaves are looking good, if it doesn't come back, it comes out of the garden.
Well, and I learned from your videos that in the Mittleiter book, there's an area where you can look up problems. Like I think you had a leaf that was purple or something.
Yes.
And you looked it up and it told you that that was due to low potassium or magnesium or something like that.
Right.
So that's another helpful tool to look up or diagnose.
It is. Yep. That's in the nutrient deficiency section of the advanced part of the book. So this is looks like a cabbage. Obviously, we need to do some pruning here. It's overshadowing the peppers, and these all would go into juice. I was just drinking a juice, just leaves. That's what I used during the day to keep my energy up. We just throw this all in the juicer and juice it.
So can I ask your top 2 favorite juice blends?
I don't have one, because I just drink whatever my wife makes.
Okay. We were trying to keep track of what we juice so we would know what tastes better than others. I don't know that we ever... I know that when we juiced pure apples, it was much better than buying any apple juice we could buy. Do you remember any... I used to add beets in every now and then. It actually added some pretty good flavoring.
I think we added beets a lot because nobody would eat beets, and we grew a ton of them. That was something in our garden for some reason that just and they were huge.
So that was our garden in Mesa where, same as Texas, it was just hot as could be.
Right.
And we had some things grow like wildfire, like our squash and
corn.
Well, and it ended up being that decorative Indian corn. So we learned after we grew a bunch of it that it wasn't really easy to cook or eat.
Right.
Well, you have to grind it up for
But we
cornmeal,
did. We got a lot of beets, but our pumpkins did terrible.
Squash did really good. We had summer squash. It did really, really good.
I think we did butternut too, but
So when you were putting the beets in the juicer, were you putting the beet leaves in there also?
No.
because we didn't know. I didn't know until I heard your video that.
So what'll happen is that as you eat the leaves off of the plants, the energy goes into the fruit, and so you'll actually end up with better tasting and larger beets. People say, well, is that going to taste bad? No, because we've taken the leaves off, and the energy that would be going into growing a leaf, which we also eat, grows into the beet. So you can see we get some pretty nice looking beets here.
So do you ever use those to make salads, or do you just only
absolutely.
juice them?
Yeah, they're in salads all the time. Last night I had a salad and it had cauliflower leaves in it, had beet leaves in it, had Swiss chard in it. I don't think it had collards in it.
Huh.
But anyway, so these are, these are very sweet, high producing. There's actually more food in the leaves than there is in the beet
Yeah.
or the cabbage and so forth. This is all Swiss chard. Here we have two different varieties of eggplant. Notice I'm also pruning the eggplant, so I don't have this huge bush to take care of. I'm putting like the peppers.
But that leaf you don't eat?
Correct. You do not eat that. That's a beautiful. Look at all these. Just look.
Yeah,
at
they
all
look pretty.
the blossoms in here.
I mean, look at the color on the
I guess
leaf.
we've never grown that because I don't remember ever seeing a purple blossom.
Then here's some peppers again. Again, here's the example of 3, and we have one that's not doing well. So if it doesn't come out of it, it comes out of the garden. I'm not here running an ICU for plants. If I can't take care of it and it doesn't come back, all it's going to do is get weak and attract diseases and insects and so forth. So I am working with it, but
Yeah.
if it doesn't pull out,
It's not worth ruining your other ones.
You can see our soy oil
Oh my
long
goodness.
cucumbers
And all the tomatoes.
and the tomatoes in the back.
Yeah.
So,
Notice I've pruned the branches off below the fruit, so I don't
Right.
have branches underneath
have
them.
you ever calculated what percentage of your food total you produce on your own?
Oh, well over 90%.
Really?
That's awesome.
That's conservative. We had a family dinner. We have family dinner every 2 weeks. There were 12 people at the dinner. Whoever hosts the dinner provides the entire meal. So my wife and I were out doing some errands. She said, I need to go to the grocery store. She stopped and she spent $7 for dinner. That's because we didn't have any cheese at home.
Now, do you also have animals on the property too, or we're just talking about the vegetables and the fruits?
Yeah,
So are you vegetarian then?
we're not.
No.
Nope, not at all.
So, can I just ask, have you ever thought about branching out to chickens or anything for the eggs, or?
I told my wife that I will not raise livestock.
Okay. Is it just a hassle, or?
Well, livestock is a net loss on any livestock that you raise and you have to feed and medicate and shelter and so forth. There isn't anybody that I have ever spoken with that makes more money from selling their eggs than they have put into taking care of the chickens. You tell me, you get chickens.
Well, what I'm working on is mowing the grass and catching it, putting the grass in the coop and feeding them the grass.
But answer the question. Have you spent more money on taking...
So far, yeah,
Yes,
because I've been
okay.
feeding them.
That's right.
I've been feeding them grain.
That's exactly right.
My hopes is to switch completely over to feeding them the grass clippings.
Right.
Then I don't have any more cost on them.
Right.
Because I've already put the fence up. I've already, bought the watering container and that type of thing. So yeah, I had initial investment. I bought them. I think they were 50 cents a piece because we bought them in a straight run from the co-op.
I just like that I have fresh eggs right there. That I know what's in them and what's...
My tomatoes are more valuable than anybody else's eggs. I get a
I'm
lot
sure.
more eggs for my tomatoes.
Oh, I see, from people like bartering, basically.
So I'll let them spend all their money on growing those eggs. I'll grow
Grow
some
the tomatoes.
So,
and I can feed, this here grows more food than my wife and I can eat.
And I like that my kids have the animals around too. We got young kids that...
There's other reasons to have animals for sure.
Yeah.
But not for effective way to grow food.
So you've got your gardening down, you've got your electricity covered by solar panels, and I think $85 a month is what you said on one of your videos is your loan payment.
Right.
So for $85 a month, you not only cover all your electrical needs, you're actually making some money back because you're pushing electricity to the grid. And then you've got your propane. You buried 2 giant, 2,000 gallon tanks in the ground?
1,000 each.
1,000 each, and you buried them. So you got your propane covered, and I think you even got some propane appliances in the house so that you can draw. I think you said the 2,000 pounds would buy you a couple years worth
At least.
of use. Is there anything else on your horizon that'll make you more self-sufficient that you haven't tackled yet? For those of us that are watching you, that are trying to follow you.
I don't think so.
So you got your electric, you got your propane, you got your food.
What do you have on propane?
What?
We have our furnace, our stove, oven. Hey there.
I need to head back to my house real quick. I need to get some gas on me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I have some gas in the shed if you want to use that.
Okay.
It's the big red can.
Okay.
So we've got clothes dryer, furnace, oven, stove,
Water heater?
and water heater. All our major appliances.
I'd like to get back to a gas
Are they
dryer.
Are they gas and electric just in case, or are they just gas?
They're all propane.
Like I've seen some people go with the propane electric refrigerators, a smaller refrigerator. So if they were to run out of one or the other, go ahead.
They're all propane. Replace appliances that were electric.
Is it shutting off?
No, I turned it off. I thought he was going to answer his phone.
When we replace appliances that were originally electric, we keep those appliances because I always have backups to my backups.
Right.
We have 4 different ways to heat our house. We've got wood.
4 is 3, 3 is 2, 2 is 1.
Yeah,
That's right.
We promote that as well.
Exactly.
So what are they there?
I have
You
wood.
you have a fireplace in the house?
Right.
Okay.
Actually, we have not a fireplace. It's a wood-burning stove.
Oh, that's what we want.
It's actually in your house still?
So we have that. We've got kerosene heaters. We've got electric heat, and we've got propane.
So does it get cold enough here, because we haven't completely spent a winter here, that if you didn't have heat that you could still survive, or it would just be way too cold?
One
In
of
the
the
home.
biggest things that people are concerned about here is heat.
Okay.
So I know that we were keeping our house heated during the winter. If you don't, it's going to eventually it'll get as cold inside as it is outside. So probably not what you want.
I'm trying to think. So we got electric, you got the propane, you got the food.
Because back in Arizona, I don't think we ever turned our heater on.
Right. Well, this house here, we don't have air conditioning in it.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, this doesn't make sense to have air conditioning here in Idaho.
We've turned ours on.
Yeah.
We just turned ours on the other day when it was starting to hit 95 outside.
Now we just open the windows in the morning, close them before it gets warm. And so when it was 94 outside yesterday, it was like 75 in the house.
Really?
Isn't that about what ours got to?
In the house? No, it got hotter than that in the house. That's why I finally turned the air on, because it got to 82 in the house, and that's why I turned it on.